deleted, but look at what it says. 2K to pay for my phone that you broke, dumbass nigga.
But still, literally she had said, right? The 2,000 is for your broken phone, right? Okay, let's say that is the case, right? If he had really allegedly did what you would accuse him of doing, why would you try to negotiate with a nigga like that? Why would you try to negotiate with an artist? Why would you think that is smart? What the fuck makes you think he would send you that bread if you just said, oh yeah, if you don't give me the money for my phone, I'm gonna expose you? Like, what, my nigga? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, yeah, just pay for my broken phone and we'll call it even. Like, bro, what the fuck? Jourdin makes massive mistake in response to Tylil. Video by my nigga Jourdin reacts, man. Jourdin, she has responded to Tylil. I don't know how you could respond to that shit, my nigga. It ain't no way. And she tried. You literally can't do that shit. It seems like, and you know what I'm saying, be right because of what he showed. Like, come on, my nigga, that shit was flawed, what you did. And apparently she made a massive mistake, but then again, how could she not? She already made a massive mistake, accusing the nigga of some shit she didn't do, some heinous ass shit, belittling the real instances in which people experience SA. You gonna come on the internet and just play with that shit and throw the word around just to get some people on your side and try like get a nigga downfall going. That's flawed, my nigga. Apparently you made a mistake before. You made another one right now. So we're going to see what it's talking about. Jourdin, take it away.
So in the video I just dropped, we covered Tylil's response to the allegations of sexual assault that were made against him by Pauline. And she has responded. Now, she didn't respond in video, but she responded on Twitter. So as we can see here, 18 hours ago, which was about 11 p.m. Central Time last night, about an hour after Tylil posted his video titled The Truth, where he provided his side of the story, Jourdin started to tweet, and basically she doubled down, right? She says, the police got all the details, so stay tuned.
Right.
God always has the final say. He's seen and heard it all, and he don't play about me. This is the big one.
That's crazy, nigga. Doubling down on this shit is just insane, bro. It's just insane. What do you mean he's still that? After he exposed you. Oh yeah, he exposed me that I'm completely in the wrong, but he's still... Like, what? What are we talking about?
He's still a rapist. And then lastly, she retweets somebody else who tweets out, normalize not explaining shit. Another user also pointed out that she has deactivated her Instagram. Pauline has deactivated her Instagram account after Tylil exposed her for false allegations. And so we can see here a screenshot of what that looks like. However, if you go to her Instagram right now, her account is up. So I guess she has reactivated it. Now, what is actually very interesting about the text messages you see here is what you don't see. And that's because Jourdin deleted a tweet. And the tweet that she deleted, I think, really strengthens Tylil's side of the argument, Tylil's side of the story, and that's precisely why she deleted it. I don't know if a lawyer came out and told her she should take that shit down, or if people started to point out to her that this tweet doesn't make any sense. Well, let's check this out, right? So here's what Fearbook tweeted. Pauline speaks out after Tylil went on stream to tell his side of the alleged essay, saying the $2,000 she requested from him was for her phone that he allegedly broke. And if we take a look at this screenshot, and Fearbook, he has been posting for a long time. He seems like a relatively credible source in reporting what's going on the internet. And so I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt that this is an authentic screenshot of an actual tweet she had tweeted out and then deleted. But look at what it says. 2K to pay for my phone that you broke, dumbass nigga.
But still, literally she had said, right, if you pay me the 2,000, we could have swept all this under the rug. The 2,000 is for your broken phone, right? Okay, let's say that is the case, right? If he had really allegedly did what you would accuse him of doing, why would you try to... Why would you try to negotiate with a nigga like that? Why would you try to negotiate with an artist? Why would you think that is smart? What the fuck makes you think he would send you that bread if you just said, oh yeah, if you don't give me the money for my phone, I'm gonna expose you? Like, what, my nigga? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, yeah, just pay for my broken phone and we'll call it even. Like, bro, what the fuck? Who would agree to some shit like that, bro? And why are you making negotiations like that? You feel me? That's just some stupid shit, bro. What the fuck?
To really understand why I think Jourdin fucked herself and actually gave more credibility to Tylil's side of the story with that tweet is based on this segment of this video that Tylil has in his response. Let's check it out.
Let's speak on that. I try to blackmail you, Jourdin. Chat, I try to blackmail her. Jourdin, I try to blackmail you, Jourdin. 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 Jourdin, I try to blackmail you, Jourdin.
Yeah, that shit says for playing with me. Now, it doesn't say for breaking my phone, which, you know what I'm saying, you felt like she would have said that, right? But, you know, I guess not. But I guess it still could have meant for breaking my phone. But, like, the way you texting, it just seems like he didn't really do nothing to you. Like, you would think that she would be afraid of someone who did this to you, but it don't seem like she's afraid. The way she was still texting the nigga and all that shit, like, you know, he literally sent you an Uber, right, to your crib. So he knows where you stay at. You know what I mean? So if you was truly scared of this nigga, right, you wouldn't request the Uber because now he knows where you stay at. You wouldn't even be in contact with this nigga at all because you try to put as much distance as possible so you can go expose the nigga for who he truly is. You wouldn't do none of this shit that you did through the evidence that he's shown, right? But you didn't show none of this because you knew that shit would look crazy, my nigga, right? Indeed. But, you know, she wasn't thinking that far ahead, bro. Like, why the fuck did you think he just wouldn't have this evidence on standby? Some people just don't think, bro. They don't got brains. Like, come on, my nigga.
I try to blackmail you, Jourdin. Jourdin, I try to blackmail you, Jourdin. How, Chad? How? Look at what it say, Chad. Jourdin sent me Jourdin requested 2,000 and then in the note it says for playing with me. And I try to blackmail her. She's trying to extort me, gang. She's blackmailing me. She's lying on me, bro.
So with her tweet, she did two things. One, she proved that Tylil wasn't lying about this Zelle request that he alleged she sent to him right after he hadn't responded to her text messages. The fact that she titles it for playing with me. If she really was asking him for this money for the sake of him fixing her phone or
you would have just said that
it seems to still be alleging that he broke, because why else would you be expecting him to send you money for the phone? So she's still running with that narrative. Why wouldn't you put in the memo for the phone? Another segment of Tylil's response that I actually want to go back to and draw a little bit more attention to, because I didn't quite catch it the very first time I was reacting to this situation. The last message that Tylil shows us is one where allegedly, right, Jourdin says, if you had chosen integrity from the start, this situation would have never escalated. The reaction you're facing now is a consequence of your choices, not mine. Your girlfriend seeing your actions isn't my fault. And so the fact that this is the only thing that she's mentioning, it leads me to believe that this was a message that she actually sent before she came to social media. At this point in time, this was the only penalty or consequence that Tylil was dealing with. She went to his girlfriend and told on him, revealing to his girlfriend that he has been unfaithful. It continues, I've never lied to get anything in life. If I wanted drama, I would have ignored your call and gone straight to social media, but that's not who I am. I believe in God, accountability, and moving with love even when I'm hurt. I'm not asking for anything except acknowledgement. A real apology matters. And that's why she was still asking for an apology at this point. This really leads me to believe that this message was not sent after, but before she went to social media.
Yeah,
because,
of course.
remember in the last video, I was like, apologize for what? What do you want him to apologize for? I think what she wanted him to apologize for at this point was ghosting her, right? For making her feel as if she was just used, right? And making her feel like she was just another one-night stand. And that's why Tylil says this.
I believe in God, accountability, and moving with love even when I'm hurt. I'm not asking for anything except acknowledgement. A real apology matters. A real apology matters. A real apology matters. So if I would apologize to you, you would have never came to the internet. If I'd allowed you to extort me or blackmail me, you'd have never came to the internet. Okay,
Right.
Jourdin, you got it.
Notice what he says. If I had apologized or if I had allowed you to extort me, you would have never went to the internet or you would have never came to the internet. I think with that, Tylil is acknowledging that hypothetically, she's suggesting that this whole online drama would have been avoided if he had done those things. It also makes this previous message make more sense because I thought this was a very strange text message for
Very
somebody
ominous.
to say after they had gone online and accused you of rape.
Yeah, I've never assumed that she sent that after she accused him. I always assumed it was before. It was kind of like, all right, nigga, I tried to warn you, but now I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? It needs to be done. Even though that shit didn't need to be done at all. Like, that was flawed, my nigga. Like, why would you cook that up in your brain? That's some evil ass shit to do. But yeah, I always assumed that she did this before exposing him.
Raping them, right? So clearly, in my opinion, this message as well as the subsequent message was sent prior to her coming to the internet and making those accusations. The message reads, don't let this world get to your head and you lose your moral compass. Because at the end of the day, we all have to deal with God. And if you know something made me feel a certain way, instead of trying to throw rocks and hide your hands, not quite sure what that really means. I think that's, I don't know, maybe things were said behind the scenes once his girl found out. Maybe he tried to initially tell his girl that she's lying. Who knows? You should have fixed it immediately. And this could have been swept under the rug. Don't be mad your girl found out the type of man that you are. She should have been known. That's nobody's fault but yours. But look at this. She says, I always walk in love and I wish you and her the best. No bullshit. Now,
Wow.
I don't know how you could ever say this. I
Real
wish
shit.
you and your girl the best. No bullshit. After you get on the internet and say that he just raped you. I mean, if a man just committed that level of a crime against you, I think you would.
Why would you still wish that nigga the best?
You would wish him the worst.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You'd want to put that man in prison. And based on the allegations that you've made, that's clearly what you want. She says, God bless you too. And so I think possibly what happened is after she goes and she tells Tylil's girlfriend about the cheating, it wasn't enough, right? Maybe she started to think that this isn't enough of a punishment. A guy like Tylil, even if his girl leaves him, you know, he'll just get another girlfriend. And so maybe she felt like this wasn't enough. And I would imagine she maybe felt that way because maybe he wasn't responding, right? Maybe she was texting him again after telling his girlfriend. Of course, this part is just me speculating. And he wasn't responding. She wasn't getting the reaction that she wanted. She didn't feel like she had heard him enough. And so she takes it to the next level and decides that she could get away with going online and lying about him. But as we've already discussed in both of my videos, the first one where we responded to her making the allegations and then the second one, which I just responded to with Tylil's response, it's clear to me that she just lost her mind, bro. With this allegation. She acted
like you would think he would still have this message that you just sent him. He would have proof that you requested that bread. He would have that video that you accused that he recorded of you while he was like, you mean while y'all was doing the deed. Instead, he was just recording his own face, right? Why didn't you, I mean, you know, she wouldn't have that shit if it was on his phone. But, you know what I'm saying? You could say, oh, he only chose to show that. But like, come on, my nigga. Stop. But like, bro, why would you just forget that he had all of these things to prove you wrong, my nigga? Why would you assume he just didn't have that shit? She just, fit of rage, she just seen red. She said, all right, fuck it, I'm accusing this nigga of the worst. And that's what she did. She didn't think it through, but once she did it, she just had to commit. She knew she was wrong. She knew that shit was not going to go good. You know what I'm saying? So she threw on the waterworks. She's standing on it now that it's been proved that she lying. Yeah, I think she just went crazy, my nigga. The fact that he didn't want to be with her in any meaningful way beyond just cracking her shit, it really tore her up inside. Which is fair, but like, why the fuck are you accusing this nigga of this shit? Why are you trying to ruin his whole existence on this earth?
Purely out of emotion. She did not think about what she was doing. She didn't think about all of the paper trails and the breadcrumbs that she left lying around that would make it easy for Tylil to refute her. Maybe she just thought because she is an attractive woman and Tylil, you know, he has a few videos floating around online of things being kind of weird, and the internet at the time was also trying to get on him for his reaction to, you know, that joke that fan made about Kai Cenat. He was getting a lot of, you know, backlash online or a lot of criticism. Maybe she thought he was in a moment of weakness. There are also other members of Clover who have also been accused of SA. Maybe she thought that was enough and she didn't think it through. And then she just jumped headfirst into making this allegation. And now, I mean, it's looking really bad for her. Now, Tyler says he's not speaking on this matter again. And based on what Jourdin tweeted, I have a feeling she's also not going to come back and try to, you know, debunk his video where he was giving his side of the story. Where is your evidence? Where is your actual evidence? You would think if you really, you know what I'm saying, wanted to expose this nigga, which is what you did, you know what I'm saying? You claim that you told the police, but like, at the end of the day, what evidence did you like show to these niggas, right? You said the police have all the evidence. Show the internet. You know what I'm saying? In the court of public opinion, you're getting destroyed. Quite frankly, in the court of actual law, you might win, but like I doubt you even sent anything to them niggas because you don't got shit to send, right? You would think if you had evidence and he had just shown his evidence, you would get on the internet and do the same shit if he really did do all them things to you. But you don't got no evidence, my nigga. Like, it's just checkmate. It would be stupid for you to actually like get up on here and try to respond. That's tough. Two things is going to happen. Either she's going to ask the police to drop the case, and in so doing, maybe Tylil drops the defamation suit. Maybe not. I think it would be a good opportunity for him to make an example out of her. If it is the case that she's lying, and at this case, I think Tylil has provided far more evidence to support his side of the story than she's provided to support her side of the story. And so as things stand right now, I'm more convinced by Tylil's argument. And look, I saw in the comment section of my last video, people are saying, oh.
It is funny because I don't know if this is what he's going to talk about, but Don was riding so hard for Jourdin before. He was like, bro, there's no way those are fake tears, nigga. I think Tylil might have really did this. You know what I'm saying? And I fuck with Don. I seen what he was saying. I'm like, oh shit, maybe she, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he did do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got people in my ear. Like, we all easily influenced, right? So like, I ain't excusing it, but I kind of was already saying, oh shit, niggas think Tylil done. Shit, let me see what it's about. And then I kind of had that same bias myself, which I apologize for. You know what I'm saying? I didn't outright say that he did that shit, but I'm like, it ain't looking convincing for you, my nigga. But yeah, Don, he did come on that hood talking about, yeah, that nigga did that shit. He didn't say that, but that's heavily what he was insinuating. But then he came, you know what I'm saying, and reacted to Tylil's evidence, and now he's on the bull side. So I'm wondering if he will acknowledge that shit.
Look, I saw in the comment section of my last video, people are saying, oh, who remembers when Don completely sided and believed Jourdin 100%? Yeah. Let me actually play you a clip from what I said in my original video when I was covering the situation when Jourdin first made her allegations. So this is my original video posted on December 12th, 65,000 views. Let's listen to what I had to say. Yeah, man. And you know, it's crazy. Now, here's the thing. There's the reason she's probably not sharing more information, showing more evidence. And I'm not saying that Tylil is guilty of doing this. I'm not saying that it's black and white, clear and cut that he's guilty, but believing all women doesn't mean automatically presume that their accusations are true or perfectly accurate or the man is guilty. It is, don't automatically assume that she's lying. At least that's how I understand it, right? There are always two sides to every story. And so I'm not trying to say Tylil is for sure guilty, but we have to, you know what I'm saying, entertain the possibility that he did do some foul shit. But my encouragement to you is still to take the allegations of all people seriously, regardless of their gender. Whether it's a man making an accusation of somebody.
I feel like at some point in his video, he did kind of heavily insinuate that Tylil did do that shit. And he was completely on Jourdin's side. But hey, I feel you, my nigga.
Else, whether it's a woman making an accusation of somebody else, to take it seriously. Because if it is the truth that they are telling, well, then that person deserves to be heard. And it is an opportunity to stop somebody from hurting somebody else again in the future.
Yeah, he
now,
makes
I'm
a good point,
starting to
though.
understand how a lot of people think where shit like this is concerned. And so just because in my last video, I acknowledged that the evidence that Tylil has brought forward is more compelling than the evidence that Jourdin has brought forward thus far, because all Jourdin has brought forward thus far, in all reality, is hearsay, right? Tylil has actually now more than just said, hey, I didn't do that shit, but he has also now provided receipts. And so I think his side of the story is more believable. Doesn't mean that I am convinced that he's 100% innocent or that Jourdin is 100% lying, which is why even in a court of law, there isn't a verdict of innocent. No one is ever found innocent, right? You are found not guilty. Meaning the evidence that has been brought forward is not so
it's basically saying that you're not riddled free of any guilt forever. You're just saying, oh, at this current point in time, based on this evidence, yeah, you're not guilty, but you could be, my nigga, because you ain't innocent yet. Like, you know what I'm saying? I see.
rock solid and concrete that you are certain without a shadow of a doubt that somebody is guilty of a crime. But if I was now required to serve as judge, jury, and executioner, based on the evidence that has been brought forward thus far, I would have to deem Tylil not guilty. But thankfully, we don't live in a world where that's how the law operates.
Yep.
And who knows, maybe Jourdin has more evidence to bring to the table that will shift the believability back towards being more on her side of the fence. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. I know without a shadow of a doubt that this situation is going to make things even worse when it comes to men believing women when they make accusations, especially black women, because I don't remember this level of scrutiny being applied to the Ms. Kiff situation when that girl accused him of sexually assaulting her, even though she didn't provide any evidence that he sexually assaulted her. According to his testimony, he didn't sexually assault her, but yet
I do wonder what happened with that shit, but everybody did take her word. I ain't gonna lie, he right.
pretty much everybody was willing to believe her, and something tells me
That nigga did. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He was talking about how he do be getting mad as shit when his girl is more successful than him. But she didn't provide any concrete evidence. That is true, but I feel like we all feel like that nigga did that shit.
it's because she
Or not sexually assaulted, or maybe he did do that, but I feel like we all do agree that that nigga was like being toxic and shit to her and mistreating her and shit.
is not a black woman. And so, yeah. But hey, those are my thoughts on the situation. You let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and until next.
Shout out my nigga Don, man. This nigga's a big inspiration for me, bro. I don't know if y'all could tell, but I've been watching this nigga since he made animations. I've been following him on his religious journey, then his spiritual journey, and now his journey right here. Shout out my nigga Don. He's very much an inspiration for me. Hopefully I could collab with this nigga one day, or, you know what I'm saying, meet up and, you know what I'm saying, discuss spirituality or any shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Because I take a lot of inspo from this nigga. I done said it 3 times now, so you know I really mean it. Shout out my nigga. Shout out Don. Shout out Tylil. Jourdin. Man, I don't want to, like Don said, I don't want to assume that you completely wrong, but I kind of already do. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you could still, you know what I'm saying, prove that you're right, but at this current point in time, I don't really know. Tylil, he presented a crazy ass good argument, my nigga. And if you really think about it, it just seems like you made all that shit up, but who knows? Only time will tell, right? But yeah, bro, this was a, you know what I'm saying, good update. She didn't have a very good response though, but it was a good update by my nigga Don. Let me know what you guys think of the whole situation in the comment section down below. Make sure to like the video, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate y'all watching, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Love y'all. Peace.